time we saw Empire play, Joystick was on Nomad quite a lot, actually, I think throughout that entire match. And he even said in the interview that he wants to learn how to play operators that are not Ashe. And he has been doing that with Jackal and Nomad. So, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, Habana, great. It's going to be easier to hold on to Projector. But it was already hard to hold on to Projector through other means. And I don't know. I feel like Nomad would have been a great option. Just theory crafting, though. It's done now, and life moves on. What? Visual bug. Just a visual bug, I think.
No, you know, I don't think that Castle got Mr. Fantastic stretchy arms.
Or that buff that Shaz was recommending.
We'll allow Castle to be able to castle off rooms meters away.
Not that part. I wasn't talking about that.
We're playing a match on Chalet, and next thing you know, this downstairs door just gets castled off. Turns out the castle was on Oregon the whole time.
He's joined the traveling between maps that Valkyrie once had. That's a new thing. Joystick has control of the top floor. Started with admin office, very quickly worked his way upstairs, and he used one of his breach charges to cut off the rotation from Visa stairs. This is some great work from Empire, very efficient stuff, and this is something we're used to seeing from them, period, but actually especially on Consulate. This gives more credence to the thing you were saying earlier, where this is a map that Empire know so very well, and it's just surprising that we're playing here because of that.
Like you said, 2 weeks in a row that teams have allowed Empire to go to their two best maps. Either your theory is maybe stop them from being able to play that later on. I don't know, but I mean, it's not like it's a best of 3 where teams have to, you know, compete multiple times. I'm not entirely sure. Very first kill is going to go on to Rips. The Pulse gets spotted by the IQ of Scyther. It's a nice cat and mouse game that always is engaged between those two operators. As now Corey is on deck. Next, Karzeka will take out the castle barricade that's over by the bathroom, which prompts Corey to drop down towards the garage site. Keep in mind that the site is on the bottom floor, so the hold from NAVI on this main floor, buying as much time as possible for them and the rest of the team. They've lost Rips in the process. Corey, very low on HP. There is no reset mechanic anymore, so you don't, or well, there is, but it's just not quite as potent as it used to be, which means that Corey is just going to exist with this low HP. Down goes Karzeka, entering and looking the wrong way as Cryan is able to capitalize on a misdirection from Karzeka as the Zofia main inside of the main lobby will be felled, allowing the rest of Empire to continue to take control of this first floor and begin their assault on the basement. A minute to go. They'll need to find some marks here as you've got the Buck doing destructive work and Joystick there as well to finalize what little was left of Corey.
Joystick, another frag for him, and that's gonna in a really good spot. KS will take down Shock, though. There we go, constant battle back and forth here. Shepard outside a garage, but he's pretty much alone. He's got Scyther here to cover him, so there's potential for a plant. Shepard does have the diffuser, so a lot of pressure going on to him. Joystick looking for the fight, not going to be able to land the shots, but will land the shots onto Lazo. Excellent one there, and that's Pipes control now in the way of the attackers. A plant there, and a C4 to deny. The C4 misses, an excellent fake out. Cryan will take out Joystick though, no more frags for him. A refrag from Scyther on the drop down, and Shepard needs to plant, but he's being pushed from KS, and it's not gonna happen. Where is the cover from the IQ? And why wasn't Shepard planting? A truly confusing round there from Empire, despite seeming to have control of the situation.
You had the IQ playing on the hatch above, watching the double doors, but didn't have the rotate over by White Van, which is where it allowed KS to push out of and then drop down. Scyther's a great player, and it really proved his worth at the Invitational. He routinely top-fragged for his team, and when you look at Empire, and the conversation usually involves Joystick and Karzeka, it's nice to see that there's another person on the team who's capable of carrying the weight, and that's what Scyther has proven over the last couple months or so. But he was just not in a position to be able to see KS's rotate. And because there was no coverage on where KS was pushing from, you kind of have to make sure that the planter is fighting their own battles, gets the final kill. It's a 2v1. You got 2 seconds left. You go for the frag. I can understand why they made that play, but I think ultimately the responsibility does kind of fall on the IQ not having proper coverage.
does happen, though. He was playing on yellow stairs, which is why I'm super confused. He made the adjustment to the drop, got a kill from there, but then how does the mute slip by? You know, it's done now. Life moves on, and here we go. Top floor now for NAVI. Good to start with a successful defense, as we saw in the previous match of Consulate. Lots of attacking wins, in fact, primarily attacking round wins on that previous match. So that's a really good result for NAVI, especially considering who they're playing against. Said it again, said it before, or we'll say it. I just got it mixed up. I reversed it. Said it again, and we'll say it before.
Say it before, we'll say it again.
Empire's a good team. So, they're going to have control of admin office. This is really curious because you can see that NAVI are trying to contest admin, but they're just going to give it away to Joystick along with the frag and a second one as Corey goes down as well as KS. Truly confusing setup from NAVI and a distinct lack of presence in admin despite trying to hold it.
Jeez. What an entry that was. Very successful and very fluid from Joystick. And now Karzeka will find one on Alazo. Cryan is there and has been a bit of a superstar for NAVI since coming onto this roster. He's got good fragging potential. He takes out Joystick, the hot hand, but still the rest of his team will be doubled up upon by Empire. It's a bit of a slower entry from Empire for the last 20 or 30 seconds after that torrid pace that was established by the Nomad to be able to take control of admin office. Still have multiple members of Empire on the rappels. One body on balcony of Shepard with that brand new scope as Cryan goes down, and it'll just be all upon Rips. He's got some marks to give him information. Can he outduel Karzeka? Well, he's gonna do an awful lot of damage. Karzeka's still there on 1 HP and a dream, or so they say, but Rips will be able to find that kill. Diffuser goes down, and Rips hold up himself. He's got a lot of work to do to be able to get out alive, and he won't be able to do it as Scyther holds the angle. A nice crossfire there that can be established as multiple bodies from Empire, all looking in the same direction. It's so routine. Look at that.
You know what I really love about Empire in that round specifically?
What do you really love about Empire in that round specifically?
The fact that they weren't frag hunting at all, but on top of that, they took the players that would have been frag hunting, and they put them on extra lockdown for the fuse. They weren't just, oh yeah, it's the last kill, let's go get that kill. They pushed someone to CEO knowing the situation with the castle barricade, aware that they could go for that rappel, because they knew that in CEO they could cut another angle away from the last defender. They were thinking about it strategically up until the end of the round. That is some serious dedication to winning individual rounds that you don't see from many teams. But other than that, just a very impressive round from Empire. Started with the Joystick entry into admin office. I'm guessing the reason that they entered so confidently and the Joystick just went for the rappel is that they must have had drones calling out that it was clear early on. Probably drones positioned through the prep phase. With that information, Empire, pretty quick entry. Like I said, 2 frags on the board, have control of admin office. They just start the attack onto the A-bomb site. And you'll note that, oh yeah, not having a Hibana. I mean, I get the idea from NAVI, but it didn't really help them there. I still think that Nomad would have been a really great ban. And oh, look at what's... we didn't see anything. Nobody saw anything.
Lazo.exe has stopped working.
Nobody saw anything. Nomad has been a really great operator for Joystick. He's clearly already mastered that weapon, and he's really been fragging out with it.
I mean, Joystick gets the praise that he gets for a number of reasons, and I think his flexibility on different operators is obviously there. Now, when Ash got banned against him, you usually see him flex onto an IQ, maybe a Jackal, really depending on the map. He didn't seem as comfortable in those roles. He did well on IQ, if I recall. He struggled on Jackal. I might be mixing those up, but that's my understanding of the way that he played out. But he's done extremely well here on Nomad, as you mentioned. And he can kind of go on a bit of a solo entry, too. That's why he's equipped with those breaching charges, so he can command more and greater map control on his own without needing a soft breach. Keep in mind that with Ash, he could use the breaching rounds to open things up. He's going to use the breaching charges here. First kill is going to go to Cryan. Scyther off of the board, takes a minute. Corey gets taken out, so both teams will lose 1 body within the first minute and 10 seconds.
Very early engagement. 2 operators eliminated, but one of them fairly redundant after the gadgets go down. The other one, IQ, going to be influential throughout the round. KS will eliminate Shock as well, so NAVI find themselves up a man. A great spot because of that. Lots of information here from bulletproof cameras and the like. Able to have full control over the A-bomb site. They even still have a player inside of Projector, playing in the corner by the plant. Joystick looking for long angles, but look at this. Nobody's challenging him anymore. Why? Because they don't want to give away free picks. That's very sensible here from NAVI, just waiting for the push. They have, again, that info. They don't need to do anything.
Still got Shepard perched up there on the balcony, just waiting to go on in. Since the addition of this new scope, the latest DLC that was added in Berk Horizon, the newest operation, there's been this new scope that's been added. The M249 has actually seen quite a bit of play because of it. Karzeka eliminates Rips, both teams back in a 3v3, as I'd imagine the attackers will hasten their pace. 40 bullets down, but still 50 remaining for Shepard. Perfect opportunity to reload, why not? Flank from Yellow Stairs is cut down by Joystick, but he falls to KS, playing in Connector. Karzeka could have been there to cover him, but doesn't really see him. Lazo inside of sight, almost a freebie, but a great shot from Lazo, who now looks on to Karzeka. Back to long desk, Karzeka will go. Sights aimed at the double door, but there's a castle barricade there. Karzeka does appear to be blind on information, sees the rotate hole, creeps on around, but he's got too many angles to cover. And Cryan, who has proved to be quite an effective player for NAVI so far, could kill to end the round.
And that round, the lack of a Habana was very noticeable. And why? Because NAVI didn't give away so many picks on the initial admin entry to Empire. Great job there to NAVI playing a little bit more passive. They realized the advantage they had being able to play in Projector, and they seized upon that. Serious props to them for that right there. And a good defense overall. Empire needed to find somewhere else to attack from. They needed to find somewhere, a weak point that they could hit. And it seemed like their initial plan was to put a little bit more focus on long desk, but they got worried because KS was such a presence in Connector. He got that early pick, but then also he continued to hold long desk from Connector throughout pretty much the entire round. Because KS had that angle closed up, Empire just didn't know what to do. And every time they attempted a new push, they lost a body. One after another. And eventually they didn't have any more. Nice defense there from NAVI. Again, they'll be going to the basement next, which was the first site that they went to and were successful, but it was a clutch situation. I believe it's KS who managed to win that one. Empire were a little more, I'd say, inefficient than usual the last time they attacked this site, and it ended up losing to the clock.
We haven't really seen a team be able to shut down Empire's entry through admin. You mentioned that Empire needs to find a new place to attack from. Well, nobody's been good enough to really stop Empire from taking that admin control. Are we going to see NAVI be the first team that is actually able to shut them down? Well, so far, 2 rounds, Empire have not been able to whisk their way through that admin's, entry the way that they have before. But would you look at that? Old habits die hard. And here's Empire once again back. The double, beautifully synchronized rappel. That's at least an 8 out of 10 if the judges are scoring it. Into admin. Such grace and fluidity there from Empire.
I would give it an 8.5 at the least. Okay. Yeah. So they're talking about record breaking.
It's an 8.25 average. We need a third judge to just help weight. Anywho, hard breach being brought from Empire here. It's not a Hibana. She's banned. You mentioned the Hibana ban. It's going to be a Thermite this time. No Maverick on the board for Empire either. So they're just going to change a couple things up with this lineup. Karzeka, we can safely assume, will play on Zofia for probably every single attacking round. That seems to be standard fare for Empire. Joystick on Nomad as well. As for Navi, there's been a lot of flexibility on Navi's side. Corey has played a wealth of operators. He was on a Frost. Now he's on the Castle. You put Lazo on the singular... well, not singular 3 armor because you've got the dock as well of Rips, though it's likely that Rips might not be playing inside of the site. Possible confrontation from Joystick. Says on service stairs, just by the Visa. Office looking down, but there's nobody there.
It's going to be Karzeka to open up the castle barricade that leads through Z, but he also took one of his teammates' drones. Unfortunately, waste of utility, but it happens. Still aware that there might be a rotation from Spiral. Not easy to cut off that, but they'll be doing their best. still working at opening up above. This is that time factor that was so important in the last round, or last time that Empire attacked the bottom floor, coming into play again. You see Shock get the very first kill onto Lazo by Pipes, and that was a really great buck play. But again, TikTok, it's only 50 seconds left, and there's still 4 defenders. So all things considered, NAVI are in a good spot right now, despite having already lost the barrage panel. Shock looking to get the bulletproof camera that his teammate is marking. He's going to be successful. He's done a lot of work in this round as the buck, and rightfully so. That's his job. He's got a lot of weight on his shoulders when attacking a basement.
Looks like there might be still some drones that are waiting to see if Empire is going to get pushed from above as they have this control. They're in good shape, but they're going to need to translate onto the site. Corey guns down Shock, and now Joystick will have to walk on over to the Visa stairs. Finds a body of Cryan, looking the opposite way. That's a good read. And now there might not be suitable coverage from Navi on the backside of this site. It's going to get really hairy for Navi as Scyther collects another kill for Empire. It's going to be up to Rips to be able to gun one body down, just narrowly missing out on Joystick as the Nomad is able to get in, takes out Corey. What can Rips accomplish? He guns down Joystick, and there's no plant. Once again, for the second time, Empire does not have a body committed to possibly getting that diffuser and planting it. And now Navi, all because Rips is able to live as long as he did. It's Navi taking 3 rounds on their defense so far on Consulate.
That was a really confusing round from Empire, and the strategy from Navi is clearly paying off. So, let's go through these rounds one by one for the last 4. Bottom floor, first defense from Navi. They won it because of time. Why did they win it because of time? Because there was so much utility and, well, time being used by Empire clearing out the top 2 floors, as they always do. It took them so much time because of castle barricades and the like, and roamers, and just good setup from Navi, clearly reading into how Empire attacks. First top floor defense from Navi, unsuccessful. They just got a little too aggressive, gave away pick after pick after pick to Empire, and allowed for a pretty easy take into the top floor, thanks to a substantial man advantage. Next attack onto the top floor, though, Navi play passive. They use the advantage of not having Hibana in play. Why? Because Navi banned Hibana. And with that advantage, they hold on to Projector, because they don't need to worry about pressure from the admin office. Still, yes, pressure from the balcony, but not nearly as much. It's harder to accomplish anything from that position. Following that, the basement defense we just witnessed, it's the same thing that we saw the very first round. Empire were just not efficient enough. They cleared out the top 2 floors, but it took them a long time. Why? Because of the setup from Navi. I mean, those castle barricades were just thrown upstairs like, hey, you have to open these before you could start doing anything else. And all those seconds add up eventually, and they cost Empire there. This is Navi, again, clearly reading into how Empire attacks on this map and trying their best to counter it.
Now, this is also one of the reasons why losing Ashe as one of your mainstays on Empire is hurting them. It puts a lot more weight on the Karzeka with the Lifeline launcher to deal with the ranged explosives. Now, obviously, Shockwave still has 2 frag grenades, but you're usually not going to use those on castle barricades if you know that Karzeka is in that position, or you've even got possible breaching charges. Shockwave repelled up above. We'll toss in a frag grenade. It gets eaten. A C4 goes out from Corey, who then decides to take matters into his own hands, and Shockwave will remove his hands, and well, all the rest of his body is. Corey is dead. I'll leave Navi at a disadvantage once again, as they'd lost Lazo previous round, but still were able to battle back, in large part because of a lack of coordination from Empire. Lightning strike twice for Navi this time, because it will once again rely on Empire just crossing their signals and not being able to get the plant down in time.
Well, so far the mentality for Navi has been paying off whenever they don't give away early picks, or at least more than one. Currently having lost just Corey, it's still salvageable, or at least this round specifically is still salvageable. It's mid-floor though, so you're less likely to be able to use time to your advantage. That one ADS has caught a grenade and an air jab. That's a very useful ADS in this round. Should have been called out there by Empire, specifically Shock, but not the case. KS is going to be still holding an angle on the top floor, and I didn't think time would be such a huge factor here, but Empire have spent 2 minutes getting control of just admin office and Visa.
And once again, the admin focus that Empire have been so good at is going to be their undoing because they're just being held down for the time being. KS is in a position to possibly read into this, but Shepard might be successfully getting the diffuser off. No, there's KS. He reads it through the floor. Lazo gets a kill on the Karzeka, rips falls to Joystick. And it's once again Navi with an advantage. Lazo outside just waiting to see if somebody's going to be able to capitalize. Shockwave will tussle with KS. They'll double up as Joystick eliminates KS. And Empire now in a great position. Cryan eliminates Shock, but Scyther takes out Lazo, and there you have it. Joystick will save the day. It gets scary for Empire. This has probably been the least stable lead that we've seen from any team so far through the last couple play days. Empire trail. Navi have put up big points. But man, it's been scary if you're an Empire fan. We'll see if Empire can really do anything different when they go to attack, but still one final defense, or Empire on defense, still one final defense for Navi. You know what you said about you crossed over the
things?
The thing.
It's just today.
I think it's today.
Yeah.
Because I've been saying like, oh, you know, like earlier on, I said like GIGN.
It's 3 speeds.
Yeah, I mean 3 armor.
Made me chuckle a little.
I said here, I was like, oh, you know, Empire's on attack. That's wrong. They'll be on defense. They are currently on attack. What are words and how do they work?
I've been having a day too, Parker.
Might be a full moon.
You think? Now I want to know.
I don't know.
I have to know. I gotta figure it out.
Oh, we'll check at some point. Production will tell us if it's a full moon or not.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, hopefully. Joystick fragged throughout that round, as you would expect of him. His no bad play has been just that. So far throughout this match, he really has been hitting his shots. And because I think the site was a little bit more shallow there wasn't enough for Navi to fall back on, and their strategy was not nearly as effective because of that. Usually, the way these rounds have been playing out is, okay, Navi has a clear-cut strategy for how to deal with Empire on this map. Oh,
we were just told from production the moon is 96% full.
So maybe that's
close.
Yeah.
I feel like to the untrained eye, you'd look at it and be like, wow,
that's a full moon.
That's a full moon.
Yeah.
Because technically, it's more full.
96% is pretty close to.
You know, I'm not a 96% glass full kind of guy. I'm a 4% glass empty kind of guy.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And exactly. So, Empire going to be attacking top 4 for their last attacking round. And surprise, surprise, it's an admin take. Capcan traps on the windows dispatched by Shock, quite easily so. Empire are being very cautious here, which is surprising to me because the caution has not been paying off for them. In fact, I think they should know at this point that the aggression is what they need, as, yeah, time has been the real enemy of Empire throughout these rounds.
Does that scope not remind you of like a plane, like a machine gun on a plane?
Yeah, like an anti-aircraft cannon on the back of a bomber, sort of scope when you're playing like one of the old Call of Duties, one of the really old ones.
Or random war games, as we don't say.
Oh, nearly seeing the head there of his enemy, but not so.
I actually think that because that glass is not broken,
he didn't see it.
You don't see crime, but there you have it. He finally does spot him, largely because Shockwave is on the window, able to give that information on over to Shepard. Shepard still unable to find the scoreboard, but the way that Empire plays, they don't often need him or rely on him to be in those positions. You've usually got Shepard on your dedicated, hard support role. Not really going to find himself in any real way to be able to get kills. Off of the bucket onto the sledges, Shockwave will throw a grenade, and oh, we just took it a little bit too late. It'll sail on down. Bounces off the ceiling, unable to collect the kill. That might have actually been there, even though the body had moved. It's a question mark as to whether Empire would have been able to walk away with something.
Navi have masterfully avoided being picked so far throughout this round, and Empire have seemingly been very distracted. There's a Capitao in play, and doesn't seem like anyone's actually still somebody in Projector. So Capitao should be in the perfect spot to get a Firebolt kill here, but he misses. And the second one's not going to follow up. No information for Shepard. He doesn't know what he's dealing with right now.
The hatch is open, so Shepard is completely unaware of the fact that, well, somebody's been moved on out. Now Karzeka is there to possibly do the information on his own, given that there's no drone in play for Empire. Scyther falls, so Navi will at least have an advantage heading into the final 30 seconds. Keep in mind, Bomb site is not too far off. Cryan goes for the run out, takes out Shockwave, but Empire collects 3 before Lazo can stop the trend line, picks up his second, and Joystick will have to perform a miracle. His position noted over by the Visa doorway, pistol out. Lazo cannot connect the shots, but KS can. And Empire will trail through that first half. Sides will swap. Navi, a very impressive and great 4-2 lead heading in to Empire's defensive stead here on Consulate. Got it right this time. I said Empire's on defense now.
Good job.
Thank you.
And defense they are on. Basement here for Empire to start things off. Seemingly the preferred site for both teams, as we've gone to basement first 2 halves in a row. Crazy how that works. Current setup here from Empire is going to be primarily centered around just being able to take gunfights and win them. But the curious thing is, again, we have a smoke-mute combination, which is, yes, very powerful in terms of utility, but a huge risk on a map like Consulate, because, again, the SMG-11 shotgun combination does not work amazingly well on this map. Sure, you can make it work, but it definitely takes a lot more, well, talent. Empire has plenty of that, though, so it shouldn't be anything they need to worry about. There is a thermite on Navi right now, so they were prepared for this eventuality, I suppose. They've also brought a Jackal instead of a Nomad, so more focused on clearing out the roamers than dealing with the runouts.
The 2 sets of smoke as well from Navi. I don't think we've seen 2 sets of smokes so far through any of the rounds on Consulate.
The smoke's going to be very, very useful on the basement attack, especially. I think that Navi were expecting bottom floor.
Dokkaebi was banned in that first Lestream secret match, so that kind of limits the amount of smokes that you can bring. Glaz is banned here, but
also kind of technically a set of smoke.
Yeah. I mean, you still have Monte, you still have Blitz, Jackal, Capitao.
I mean, overall, if you want smokes, you can bring smokes. There's no way to get rid of all of them.
Yeah. I mean, there's only 2 attacking bans, and there's, what, 5 operators with smokes? 6 if you include Gridlock?
Yeah, but
Fuse,
so
no, Fuse,
5.
Fuse, Blitz, Monty, Glaz, Dokkaebi, Jackal, Capitao, that's 7. Gridlock's 8.
Jeez, a lot more.
A lot of smokes.
A lot of smokes,
Can't ban them all.
You can, though, ban the one and only smoke.
Yes, you can. Operator named Smoke on defense.
See how confusing that is?
Who is being used right now by Shepard.
Yeah.
Actually. And his SAS counterpart is Shockwave, and for the time being will be instrumental at keeping this garage door intact on behalf of the defense. The mute jammers from Shockwave are there to stop Lazo from being able to open things up.
Yeah, they got the other jammer way earlier, and he could have opened that, but
there goes the other. There goes the other as they get panel number 1, and panel number 3 will now go as well.
So if you're wondering how those panels work, from left to right, from the inside, it's 1 to 3.
Correct.
Joystick finds himself in the main lobby by the circle desk, and there's no one there to challenge him. So Empire have got one advantage, and that's that Navi are, I think, solely focused on this garage take. They haven't really done anything else, actually. I don't think they have done anything else throughout this round. They've got pretty much everyone set for garage.
Bad, given that there's probably 2 C4s on the board, given what Shockwave's loadout is. Karzeka almost assuredly running a C4. You've got 2 Yokais from Scyther.
Smoke.
You've got Shepard with the toxic canisters.
Yeah.
There goes 1 Yokai. Obviously, we've seen a lot of IQ. I believe her pick rate is at 100% so far through this round, or through this match.
You can see Chaos is, instead of playing in piano, he's setting up to deny the piano flank. He's outside using the drone to hold that position from afar.
It might actually be the execute going on down here. What? Corey lighting up Shockwave, but also inadvertently catching the C4 in its place. Rips is there, catches Joystick, but Shockwave slaps Corey down. Diffuser was getting successfully planted, but Lazo finished off by Shock. This is a big counter push now from Empire. It's prompting Navi to have to rotate themselves. They don't have a lot of time with which to work. Cryan has used all of his utility, so he will just solely try to frag well with that para. He might not understand that there's no control from above. Every single member of Navi now at the garage door. They're just going to rush right in. KS shreds through Karzeka, 3v3. And there go the smokes, the Jackal in prime position. But Shepard is still watching. And Shockwave through the smoke will get one down. KS tags him out. Here comes Shepard, 2v2. Empire has time on their side. Nobody's going to be able to pick up that diffuser. And as it happens so many times, to Team Empire, well, they will get their revenge. NAVI unable to get that diffuser down, and Empire will take their very first defense.
So the entirety of the strat there from NAVI was to sit outside Garage, set Chaos on the cement wall outside of Piano to hold that flank, and then try to push in through Garage, getting picks and denying utility slowly. But Empire countered them by doing, and this is crazy, not peeking. They didn't peek. They're going to be going to the top floor now, and they're going to have to play this a little bit differently in all likelihood, but we'll also probably see a different strategy from NAVI on the top floor, so maybe something a little bit more layered.
Let's see what difference do we have here on the board. Only the black, Michael. The beard in Corey's hands.
Maybe some repels going to come out here on the B window. Maybe that'll be old school strategy. We've seen that in the past, like I said, old school, but it's been a while.
Those are the two windows that will be prime targets for a Blackbeard to play on.
Yeah.
Very convenient that Empire's already opened 2 slots with which the Blackbeard can look through.
You could also go to the A balcony. There's a lot of versatility in the role of Blackbeard. He has been banned in the past on this map because of that versatility. Now,
one of the differences here that you could see somebody play on the A balcony versus that connector window, which is to the left side of your screen, right there. The difference is that if you repel on the connector window, they can jump out into the A balcony and kill you. They also can see you if the walls are shot out from inside of the cubby from above. You also have the run-out potential down below, as was being highlighted from our wonderful spectator, Marcio. Thank you very much for showing all the ways to counter a Blackbeard on the connector window. That's why you don't often see a lot of Blackbeards go in that position unless there's a sufficient amount of claymores or other teammates watching the potential for a run-out.
Thank you for technically showing us everything, Marcio.
Literally every window.
Everything we've ever seen in Pro League.
Every window.
Yeah, all the things.
Well, he's not the only spectator.
Well, I mean, I was trying to...
I understand.
You know,
I'm being pedantic.
Exaggeration.
I'm being pedantic.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the power of the Blackbeard. He doesn't even need to get onto the A balcony as he's able to eliminate Shockwave. But still, Corey losing a shield and so much HP in the process. That was a gamble that Shockwave took, all the while knowing that if you decide to peek a Blackbeard, you likely do so, realizing that your life might not be too much longer than the moment you make that decision. What this has done is taken one of the C4s out for Empire. In fact, what appears to be the only C4 at the moment, unless somehow they've managed to unlock the explosive for the 4 other operators who don't have it available. It's also given complete control for the time being of the meeting room, which we refer to as projector, which forces the yokai of Scyther to have to come in. Now that's lost coverage that second yokai could have had from Empire in another part of the map.
Now it's definitely going to hurt Team Empire when they have that actual push onto the site. You can see Lazo's practiced on Thermite quite a lot, as he's been playing it so far every round on attack. Of course, this is the only second one, but we expect that trend to continue. Joystick potentially in a great flank position. He's looking through the drop, trying to find a frag, and he finds one. It's Lazo. Oh no, exposing himself through the drop down. That, of course, will prompt Joystick to fall back to site. There's no way he's going to be able to get any work done from the Visa stairs or Visa office. He'll move likely to spiral and try to keep a crossfire. But he gets another kill as Crime peeks into his spray. Definitely a lucky round there for Joystick as he walks away with just a sliver of HP. And Team Empire are completely locking out NAVI on this round.
Really tough there as well with how wounded Corey has been, and he won't really have much solace, but KS has now taken up place here on the balcony, and he finds one body from Empire. Joystick so low on HP will match Corey's, and the advantage will actually swing in favor of NAVI in terms of HP, despite the fact there's a dock on defense. But time will assuredly aid Empire, as it's just a tick away. All the bullets from the MP5 going on in. A ping will come out, and well, would you look at that? Karzeka will take the matter into his own hands. KS almost helpless as he walks right in. He gets disoriented by the yokai, but once again, there's nobody to be able to get that diffuser down. But Corey falls in the very final milliseconds of the round, so there was not a body upright to plant it anyway. Empire just simply out-frag NAVI, and it's 4-4 now. Once again, these consulate matches looking like we're going to go the full distance, as we will need at least 3 more rounds, push us to round number 11 at minimum. Very similar to the LSE secret match. This is quite a victory for NAVI, though. 7th place team, comes in. You're able to take 4 rounds off of Empire on probably their second map. Now, this is a good map for NAVI, but it's probably the second best for Empire.
Yeah. It's definitely up there, that's for sure. And I think the reason that it's confusing that Empire were allowed to get here is just how proficient they have been. But it makes a lot of sense given what we've seen from NAVI today. Again, a lot of what's been happening is just counterplay through and through. But the counterplay hasn't been enough to just get a solid straight win here yet for NAVI, as Empire have managed to keep it nice and even. Especially on the defensive half. They've been having quite a half so far. And they'll be going to the middle floor after successfully defending the bottom floor and top floor. So if they get this, again, it'll be the elusive full circle of Consulate. Well, we haven't seen that yet today. Of course, middle floor requires a distinct focus on holding above. They've also got the Maestro and the Echo, neither being banned in this match, and that's going to allow for some serious off-site pressure, specifically on the B-bomb site, which is the main lobby, which is usually the focus of many attacking teams. We could see something different here, though. It looks like NAVI might be shifting things up, going for a push onto Piano. Focusing on Yellow Stairs control is the reason that that might be the case.
Yellow Stairs control was such a focal point for both Lestream and Secret, but has really just not been there in the matchup between NAVI and Empire at all.
Yeah.
Just goes to show you the difference that these different teams have when attacking a map like Consulate. There's a reason why Consulate tends to be a pretty decent site for every single team, and it's because there's many different ways that you can be able to engage this. Oh, Scyther! 2 huge kills on the KS and Rips, and Navi's push through Yellow Stairs will get shut down a third, as now Shockwave shreds through Corey, and Lazo, who's not even in the building, will find his fate at the hands of Karzeka. A flawless round from Empire, and they just put that one away in a hurry. That's 3 consecutive rounds for Empire, and they have now gone the full distance on defense, completing both the bottom floor, the second floor, and now the main floor. There is still that Teller's Archives split bomb site. Many teams opt not to go to that. So now we'll see a return to Cafeteria and Garage downstairs for Empire.
So that round was confusing for a number of different reasons. The IQ play from Cryan was a little bit confusing. He got hit by the Yokai drone, but didn't decide to try and hunt the Yokai drone down as the IQ, just instead decided to try and rush, which ended up costing him his life. I think it was Scyther who shut him down. Apart from that, confusing because that was neither a rush nor an execute from Navi. They weren't rushing Yellow Stairs. They kind of just trickled in one at a time. They weren't executing on the Yellow Stairs. They had no peripheral control. It was simply a slow, I guess, a jog up Yellow Stairs into sight. And as soon as Team Empire caught onto it, they were all ready to collapse. And collapse they did. It was pretty easy, perfect round for Empire. And a confusing attack from Navi. Something that I think they're going to need to work on moving forward. Again, it somewhat reminds me of their attack onto the garage earlier, where they just kind of opened the garage panel and then sat outside. Not really sure what the thought process is from Navi, but it's just way too detached.
I think how much of it might factor into just the sheer power that Empire has in straight-up gunfights.
It's true. You can't take anything away from Empire through those rounds.
No, and I wonder how much of it is Navi coming up with these, I don't want to say like quirky strats or pocket strats against Empire, but in a straight-up slugfest, most teams lose to Empire.
It's true. I would say that sitting out, taking these fights, for example, like this kind of strategy, that's asking for a straight-up slugfest, though. That's, hey, I want to challenge you. Let's fight.
3 largely utility-less bodies running through the garage is likely going to result in a slugfest. So yeah, I have to agree with you there. Navi really needs to work on getting better map control above the site and making sure that there's nobody who can push up to contest you.
When do you see on a basement of Consulate the buck outside garage?
I mean, maybe if you have another soft destructor who can take Buck's role upstairs in piano. Maybe if you're running with a Buck and a sledge for some reason. But that's not the case here. So I do agree with you, especially given the fact that KS has a hollow on it. He's not going to be able to take those long-range fights the same way as if he had an ACOG. And there's now 4 bodies from NAVI, all of whom are basically knocking at this garage door.
Now here we go. The attack might work out, but it's an Evil Eye to slow down Lazo. He's going to try and stick it. He might be able to get it down. In fact, oh no, so much counter utility missing. What a mistake from Empire over and over. And now NAVI have a nearly unlosable post plant.
There you go. Why do you put 4 bodies out there? So 3 of them can cover as the plant goes down. A C4 missed, an Evil Eye missed, a Toxic Canister missed, but oh my goodness! Empire, off the backs of Scyther's 2-piece, along with Karzeka, will now close this gap. Rips will shred through Shockwave. Empire taking a situation that with Scyther picking up a 3rd kill, Quiet eliminates Corey, and everybody from NAVI is dead because of the run out from Empire. How the hell does this even happen? With Empire absolutely masterful in that retake, shuts NAVI down and pushes Empire to match point. Oh my god.
As much as everybody being outside of garage and trying to plant, not being a strategy is a thing, losing a 5-man stack, post-plant, basement consulate, default, front of white plant, everybody outside garage. Losing that, just, oof.
That's gotta hurt.
That is, how does that happen?
I know that we're not, we like...
Here's the thing. I know it's Empire. They're crazy, right? And they've proven themselves over and over and over again in recent history. But what? Just, mine's a little blown. That's all I'm saying. It's match point now. Sorry, you were going to say something, Parker.
No, it's fine. You took pride.
Okay. Joystick and Scyther have been fragging quite a lot, as you can see. But just in general, Empire having a really good match, winning around that. Well, I said it as soon as the diffuser went down, a nearly unlosable situation for NAVI, and Empire managed to take it.
It was an incredible play by Scyther, who, his stock...
I mean, Empire stock in general.
Empire stock in general, but Scyther's stock, I feel like there was a coming out party for him at the Invitational, and he has just been so damn good.
That's true. I believe in my mind, it all started with Joystick, and then we saw Karzeka get the appropriate attention, and I think it's just, it's just going to go from player to player to player with Team Empire, much like the way it did with G2. Remember how long it took for everyone on G2 to get recognized?
Yeah, for the longest time it was, oh, Pengu clutches again. Oh, Pengu clutches again. People were like, oh, nobody beats Jonas. He's just so incredible.
Right now, I think we're in the Fabian phase.
We were in Kanto and Yoga, or Goga.
Yoga!
To be fair, with how flexible that team is, I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
Maybe.
The Kanto and Goga phase.
Fabian, do you do?
The joke aside about Yoga, I do think that Goga really he shut up a lot of the haters that people had. There was a lot of detractors, a lot of people who were very critical of it. And we're at a point now with Empire where, you're right, it was Joystick, it moved to Karzeka, and now it's absolutely been the Scyther era, alongside Joystick doing great work. When will the Shockwave and Shepard era come? We'll find out. At some point, I'm sure. But for the time being, we are very definitely in the Empire era.
Yes.
As NAVI put on a very good showing, but have had very little to accomplish or to look back on with any accomplishment here on 4 attacks.
Good position here from Joystick if he's able to get the, I guess, jump on one of his enemies. Nice job there to hit the drone instead of going for a shot. He still hasn't given away his spot here. And he might even get the kill onto IQ. That's Rips, who peeks the angle and gets the shot himself. Great job there to Rips. And that is an advantage that Empire could have had. Shut down.
Joystick had no information. He assumed that there was somebody coming from that angle, but that was really all that he could put together. Largely blind outside of that. As NAVI does their best Empire impression, coming in through the admin side. Storming copier, or printer, as a lot of people call it. And now just trying to circle around towards this meeting site where Shockwave is. Last time he peeked Corey, it didn't really work out so well for the mute. But look at the shadows on the window.
This is why you leave your shadows on at least medium.
And Shock knows that he's there. Oh, no!
No!
No, Corey! He's not able to bait him out as KS comes in to try to save the day. What a mistake that is, and you just have to laugh that one off with the game on the line. It's NAVI who's now put themselves at a significant disadvantage. Corey is still down and unable to relay any information as Shock is felled. Shepard is there alongside Karzeka. Great work from Karzeka to pick up 2 on the Cryan and Rips, with Lazo getting hit by the Yokai drone. It is a glorified 1v2, and Corey credited with the fall as the very final person on the scoreboard. Not the way you want to end it for NAVI, but they give quite a performance to Empire, who, I was incorrect earlier, alongside Immortals are the 2 teams who have yet to lose a match so far this season. Of the 3 regions that we broadcast, Immortals has 5 victories and 4 draws.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of draws, but no losses. Empire are now 8 wins, 1 draw, and 0 loss. They're at, I believe, 20. I think they're at 25 points now.
Yeah, they've been